Hey guys, AntVenom here, and wow, a million subscribers. That is something else. I have you guys to thank for that. You guys and you guys alone have made everything that has been the past couple of years of my life possible. And what I wanted to do for the 1 million subscriber special is I wanted to do a video that I've been talking about that I've wanted to do for quite a while, and that is my YouTube story. And it's not exactly like how I got started on YouTube and then like everything that's happened ever since. What I want to do is I want to talk about how I got into video making in general in this video, because a lot of you have asked me, you know, in one form or another, how did you get started on YouTube? So what I want to do in this video is to just, we'll have like a story time with AntVenom type session, and you know, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start from literally the very beginning of when I started making videos, which was back in 2004. Yeah, the stuff that you see on the beginning of my channel is nowhere near the first videos that I ever made. So I guess I'll start. So video making for me started way back in the year 2004 with a little game called Tony Hawk's Underground. And the way I got started with video making is actually kind of a funny story. So at the time, again, keep in mind, I was 14 years old. I didn't have any like fancy capture equipment, nor was that kind of stuff really on my mind at the time. More or less what was on my mind is that I was a part of a glitching clan on that game called BGOAT, which stood for the best glitches of all time. And what we did with the game is we just aimed to break it as much as possible. And as I got more and more into this sort of glitching scene, I started finding glitches of my own. You know, I wasn't just like doing glitches that other people have done. I found a few of my own in that game. And the problem started in that I could not really capture footage of me doing the glitch or anything like that. And videos were really not that common on the internet at the time. Keep in mind, this is 2004, way back before YouTube even started. So what I chose to do, because all we really did was we posted pictures of the sorts of stuff that we did, is I pointed my little dinky webcam at my TV, and I'll probably throughout the course of this video, I'm going to be showing like pictures, you know, somewhere like up here or something of those very pictures. But yeah, all I did was I pointed my webcam at my TV, and I was just taking pictures of how the glitches were done. Specifically, the glitch that I really needed to capture was a glitch in the level New Jersey, in that you can like, for those of you who have played Tony Hawk's Underground, you know that there are levels in the game that involve missions that use a car, and sometimes with those missions, it causes other objects in the level to disappear in order to make the car, you know, able to use. But what I was able to do is I was able to escape the car, so I can actually move around the level, you know, without those objects. And it was just kind of a cool glitch, and I needed a way to show people how to do that. So again, I pointed my webcam at my TV, and I just showed people how to do it. And video making from there, well, again, I wasn't making videos at the time, but this whole sort of advent of, you know, capturing video or pictures kind of grew from me capturing pictures of, you know, me doing like glitches in Tony Hawk's Underground to doing skate type videos. You know, if you guys have ever seen like a general skating video that has been made by maybe some major skateboarding brand, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about, except we used to do that sort of stuff within the game itself. And the video that inspired me, the very first one, was one called BGOAT and Friends Part 2. This was a skating video that I was actually a part of. I was still fairly new to the clan, but I was, you know, given a part in the video. And I just loved the idea of, you know, putting footage together and creating something out of nothing. So that's really where my inspiration for video making started, you know, in the first place. So I kind of took that idea and I decided to make a skating video on my own, because I didn't just want to be a part of them. I wanted to create them. You know, I had a burning desire to create videos like this, and I didn't have a capture card or anything like that. So what did I do? I used the webcam and I pointed it at my TV, and I shot dinky little like 320 by 240 video, you know, just like literally like if your 1080p monitor is this big, the video was like this big. Seriously, it was really bad. But at the time, you know, I didn't care. I was just like, how can I record footage and edit it and stuff? So the first video that I actually ever made, I still have, and I'll have a clip of it again, probably right here somewhere, was a skating video within Tony Hawk's Underground. And again, it was using the dinky little webcam, and it was bad. And it used Windows Movie Maker as well. So yeah, for those of you that say that you don't want to start with Windows Movie Maker, everyone starts somewhere, even me. I started with Windows Movie Maker. So yeah, anyways, So video making from there evolved, you know, for me, like, or actually the way it evolved is that I released that first video to the public, or by the public, I mean the forum that I posted on, and only like, obviously like 10 people would make a comment about it. And the sorts of comments that I got were that it felt really like unprofessional, but more specifically that I really shouldn't be using a camera, you know, like a little webcam, and webcams at the time were really bad, but I shouldn't be using a webcam or something like that, or if I'm going to, I should really try to improve the quality or get a capture card, which I eventually did. But anyways, so I eventually made another skate video, and with that video, I kept in mind the advice that I got from the people originally, and I aimed to like really like precisely aim the camera to make sure that it was properly exposed so that it at least looked somewhat respectable. And when I released that video, I did get a couple of comments from some of the people who made the original comments saying, hey, you know, that looks better. You know, even though it still wasn't a capture card, it still looked pretty okay. So anyways, as time passed, I finally got my dad to buy me, you know, a little capture card that could capture video at 320 by 240. Again, these were, you know, pre-YouTube days of the internet. 240p was like a godsend still. It was still really good. There were videos people were making that was like 288 by 144 or something. Imagine like this, but this. Like, that's how bad the video quality was. So I wanted, you know, at least to do as respectable as I could. So anyways, I got the capture card, and I was like a kid who got candy for no reason or something. Kid who got like a candy surprise or something like that, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I made a third skate video using the capture card, and again, I used some of the advice that people had given me, along with, you know, my sort of like instinct for the medium itself. I tried to make, you know, well-time certain parts of the video with the music, which obviously in this video is going to be muted. You guys aren't going to hear the music or anything, but I tried to time it, you know, best as I could, and I felt that I did a fairly good job. So yeah, everything just kind of kept evolving from there. And then instead of being a part of this glitching clan and doing these skating videos, I started doing like improvisational type videos as I got better at the game, as I got better at playing in that sort of regard, you know, doing like style type videos. I didn't really focus so much on like getting, you know, super high scores or anything like that. That really wasn't what I was about. But doing lines that like involve no manuals, that involve challenges in some way. And even though the advancement of how I made videos didn't really advance at all, the quality in the videos that I actually made, the raw quality, is something that I worked on during that period. So again, I got away from glitching and I got into the sort of like just you playing the game properly. And in that time, you know, as I was getting better and better and better, I improved the quality of my videos. So instead of like it, because originally with the capture software, the colors were really drowned out and just didn't really look all that good. And I became a perfectionist over the years, I guess, is really what I'm trying to get at with this explanation here. So that time period moves us from 2004 all the way to about, you know, the beginning of 2006. So I've been playing Tony Hawk's Underground pretty much religiously for the entire time period there. And in April of 2006, I created my first YouTube account, because something that I haven't mentioned is that while we were making these videos, and I made, you know, a good 24 or so within the game, a reoccurring problem that we constantly had is where do we host our files? Because web hosting at the time was really not all that cheap. There was no such thing as YouTube. Putfile was a website that you could host video on, but it was really primitive and it was really weird to get around. But so we pretty much prefer hosting the videos on our own websites and having people download them so you can kind of keep an archive and stuff. So yeah, I made an account on YouTube. I posted a few of my Tony Hawk videos on there. Not really like the new ones, but just sort of, just to sort of have an archive of my, you know, for myself. Even though at the time, pre-2008, putting video game footage on YouTube looked really terrible. It always came out really grainy. But again, we didn't really care too much about the quality. It was more just about like having a place to put our videos. So as time passed, my interest in Tony Hawk's Underground kind of diminished as the online community died, and I got into a few other different types of games. There was Portal 2, which again didn't really have anything to do with video making, but I did hold a couple of world records in the game, or I held one in particular. I held the Portal 1 Stage 17 step counter world record for a good couple of months. I held it at 116 steps. And then finally someone came and blew me away with 99 steps, and I just kind of, let the world record slide. I didn't really feel like messing with it that much. But anyways, so I moved on from Portal 2 onto Line Rider, where I was for those of you who remember that game was like amazing. If you guys haven't tried the original Line Riders, you should totally like check it out. Open up your browser or something and check out Line Rider. If just for nostalgia's sake, if you have played it before. But I actually beta tested Line Rider for the guy who created the game, FSK, and this was a little bit before he actually decided to sell the rights to the Nintendo DS version and the Nintendo Wii version to another company, which I kind of like suggested to him that he doesn't do. What I was really hoping he would do is do similar to what Notch did in Minecraft, and yes, I even gave him the advice to do this even before Minecraft was ever a thing, was to update, like leave the beta 2 version where it was and update more with like more types of things and offer it as like $1 download or something, or $2 or $5 download or something. And I think that could have worked out really well for him, but unfortunately it didn't. And Line Rider itself kind of fell by the wayside as the newer versions of the game came out. The community itself kind of died. My interest in the game kind of wound up dying with it, as the Nintendo DS and Wii version came out. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but by the time that game was all done and over with, I was playing a new game called RuneScape. And for those of you who have ever wondered where my skin in Minecraft comes from, it actually comes from my old school RuneScape videos, where my character's costume was me wearing black robes, and it had a glory amulet. That's a little amulet that has the purple on it, and I had side spiky hair, which is why the little weird toupee on my character is all like derpy, is because it was trying to mimic the whole side spiky thing, and the feet were dragon boots. That were from the game. So yeah, and these are the old school Void outfits, not the new ones that are in the game for those of you who do play RuneScape, but back from like 2007, 2008 or so. So anyways, so from the start of me starting YouTube to me starting RuneScape, I had accumulated about like 200 subscribers or so. It really wasn't anything totally impressive. I didn't make videos for the subscribers or the views or anything at the time. I just kind of made them to try and entertain people as best as I can. So anyways, so again, Line Rider died. I had started playing a game called RuneScape, and right around February of 2008, well, that's right around the time when I started gaining interest in these things called RuneScape music videos. And I had seen one by a guy named Lucky Bucket. This is like my first true YouTube inspiration. And I had seen one called Hey Driver. So if you guys look up on YouTube, Lucky Bucket Hey Driver, that is one of the very first videos that sort of caught my eye and inspired me to really crank up my quality of video making. And what about it that really inspired me was how cleanly it was edited, how well positioned, all the clips were, and how well colored it was. Because at the time I was taking a class in digital imaging, and I was learning all about like rule of thirds, positioning things properly, sort of like how I'm sitting right now. Like if I didn't position myself properly, my head could be like over here or something where my hand is. But I positioned myself in the camera, to sort of like that looks good to the eye, I guess. That's kind of what the rule of thirds is about. You guys should look up the rule of thirds if you're ever interested in video making or even photography, because it more or less applies to photography, but I applied it to video making. But anyways, so my inspiration came from Lucky Bucket, and I decided to make a music video, a RuneScape music video to the song Feeder Just a Day. And it took me like 30 or 40 hours in a 3-day time span to create. Like when I wasn't going to school, I think I actually made it on a weekend. So like I woke up, worked on it, went to sleep. That was pretty much my day for those 3 days. And I was really proud of the product that I came out with. This was also the first video that I used Sony Vegas for. So that's something that's kind of good to note. Or it might have been the second. But anyways, it was like one of the very first videos that I used Sony Vegas for. And as soon as that video was done, I put it out on YouTube. I had fun with it. And then I messaged Lucky Bucket, and I wanted him to take a look at it for himself, just to see the guy who I'm inspired by. I wanted to get his opinion. So a few days passed. I didn't get a reply from him, probably because he was very popular at the time and probably had got a lot of messages like that. But eventually he did wind up getting back to me, and he replied to me, saying like, wow, man, this is like really good. And at the time, at least to me, it felt pretty good because I hadn't seen many videos, up to that caliber, because I was trying to match Lucky Bucket's caliber, the guy who, in my eyes, was like numero uno. So anyways, he really liked it, and what he did is he featured the video on the front page of his channel, and he told people, you know, to check out my channel and stuff. And then I made another RuneScape music video, again trying to top the first one, and he featured that one as well. And I believe that one that I had made was Chronic Future Time and Time Again. And then I made another one based off of Sum 41, What I Believe. He featured that one. And then I made one off of, I think it was Rise Against song. I can't remember exactly the title, but I'll probably like put a text thing on screen or put it in the description or something. But he then again featured that one. So this was a guy who had like 10,000 subscribers, which did pretty okay for me. I jumped from like the 70 some odd subscribers that I had all the way up to 500 over the course. It was about like 2 months or so, because I think I made my first RuneScape music video in February of 2008. And the last one, the fourth one, came out in May of 2008, which I think is what the time frame was, or it may have been like April or May-ish. But yeah, so I started actually accumulating a little bit of an audience. Even though I didn't get many views on my videos, I got enough, and I was still satisfied, and I was still happy making videos. So again, as more time passed, I was making, you know, RuneScape music videos, and then I started getting interest in like regular comedic sketches. Just try and picture any regular comedic sketch that goes up on YouTube, sort of like the early Smosh days type stuff. That was kind of my inspiration for that kind of stuff. And so I started making, along with a lot of other people in the community, started making sketch type videos. And even though I was terrible at them, I was a terrible voice actor, I was just terrible at everything at the time, you know, I thought they were still interesting and funny enough, and I decided to release them, even though looking back at them, they're a total joke. But anyways, so moving on from that point, a guy by the name of Tanoob Show, who at the time was RuneScape's biggest video maker, or at least I think he was, he held a contest seeing who could impersonate him the best. I don't know what the motivation was to the contest idea, but he wanted people to impersonate him. You know, he wanted the people to make videos of them impersonating him, and he was kind of like, his character in the game was sort of like the, you know, like the stereotypical noob thinks he owns everybody type thing, and it was really funny. So I made an entry for the contest, and you know, long story short, he wound up seeing it, and he wound up crowning me the winner of that contest. And there was a good like 20 or 30 or 40 entries to that contest. And keep in mind, Tanoob Show was a guy who had about 10,000 subscribers at the time as well. It's like 10 or 15,000 or so. And these are the kinds of people who watched every single one of his videos. So when he uploaded a video to his channel saying the winner of the contest is, you know, AntVenom, which at the time that wasn't my YouTube name, but he said that, I went from 500 subscribers to 1,500 subscribers in the course of a day. It blew my mind. You know, I was refreshing the page constantly. I couldn't believe it. He wound up taking that video down in the very same day, just because, I don't know, maybe he felt bad that he was influxing me with that much traffic. But the damage was already done. I gained like 1,000 subscribers from that point, and my RuneScape video making career was, you know, just going from that point. I started, and I sort of went away from the whole music video idea. That was kind of a dying art in the community, because people, it grew from like making them for fun to really like try hard editing. And that wasn't something that I like. It went from, I was making a music video in like 3 days a week or something like that, maybe 2 weeks, which was still pretty fun, to taking a month, 2 months, 3 months, and these were like the only videos that I were doing at the time. So I wanted to do something that, you know, didn't quite take as long, but could still provide some entertainment. So again, I started moving on to these sketch type videos. I was pretty much bad at them for almost all of my RuneScape career. So as time went on, I believe from the course of 2008 to August of 2009 or so was when I was making these sketch videos. I would make like maybe one a month, maybe not quite that often. And then the company that created RuneScape, Jagex, held a machinima competition to make the best like 2-minute sketch about anything in RuneScape. It could be, it was literally an anything goes category. There were, I think, like 1,400 entries to this, and only 5 were going to come out in the finals. Now, unfortunately, my video did not come out in the finals, but it still saw a lot of attention. There was a lot of people who were saying like, "Oh man, this deserved, you know, a top 5 spot over one of these other videos," and you know, it got a lot of attention to the video, and I had a lot of fun making it too. It was called AntVenom's Odd Day. It might still be up on YouTube somewhere. I have no idea. I think I may have unlisted it because of the music that was used in it, or I may have removed it from my channel. But it might be up on an old channel or something like that. I really have no idea. So anyways, that video gained it garnished about 30,000 views or something like that. By the time this all rolled around, again, we're talking like August of 2009 or so, I got up to about 5,000 subscribers or something like that. Everything was going really well, and I was still very much enjoying the video making sort of atmosphere. So moving on from August of 2009, let's go ahead and let's skip all the way to March of let's say January of 2011. So I had been making, RuneScape sketch videos, but again, I wasn't making them that often. 2010 was kind of a dead year for me. I made maybe like 6 or 7 videos. I was really in like a life slump focused on work and stuff like that. So RuneScape kind of fell by the wayside. And as I really finally stopped making videos within RuneScape, a new game that you guys might know of called Minecraft was, really on the rise. And so I bought Minecraft in November of 2010, specifically November 24th, 2010. That is when my best friend, Nick, introduced me to the game. He said, man, you got to try this. This is something that you would absolutely love, because I had a fascination with like retro games. And I was like, no, I don't want to get addicted to another game. But, he eventually pulled me into the game, showed me what it was about, the basics. This was back in Alpha 1.2.3_04. So way back in the day. He showed me Minecraft, and, I really liked it at first. He showed me it, and then he let me play it, and then he directed me, because I had to go for the night, he directed me to X's Adventures in Minecraft, because I hadn't actually bought the game yet, even though he was encouraging me to because of the alpha discount. But he encouraged me to watch X's Adventures in Minecraft. So I did. I watched the first 19 episodes in that night, and then I went back over to his house, and I bought the game, and I was addicted to the game, and I started my first map over at his house, which unfortunately was not the peaceful map, because this first map was on his computer, and I never really, it never was in my mind to get a backup of that map, and it wasn't really anything fancy anyways. The peaceful map was actually my second map, which is, fun fact of the day. The peaceful map was my second map. So moving on from the January, February area of 2011 to March of 2011, I actually got contacted by a company called Machinima, and they invited me into their director's program to post videos onto their channel, which would enable me to actually make money off of my videos, which to me was like an absolutely foreign, mind-blowing concept at the time. Like, the thought of making anything off of my videos was just, mind-blowing. So what I decided to do is I decided to post some of my last RuneScape content to the Machinima channels, which is called RuneScape Undercover Episode 1 and 2. Those are the first videos that I ever posted to the Machinima channels. They were videos I had already made for my channels, but I had removed them so I could put them onto Machinima. And those videos were kind of like my effort to really push my quality of video making. So again, at this time, I think it was actually December of 2010, January 2011, I was playing both Minecraft and, RuneScape, but mostly it was Minecraft, but there was still a bit of RuneScape that was dabbled in there. So I made those videos, and I realized that putting 6 weeks of work into a video that got me 40,000 views or something was really not what I was after. So what I decided to do is I decided to drop making RuneScape content altogether. Originally, I was going to put everything onto a YouTube channel called AntVenom, AntVenom. But then my friend Nick, again, so brilliantly decided that that was just not acceptable. He told me, dude, you have this channel, AntVenom, where it's got all your, your followers right now. You need to post your Minecraft content onto there. So yeah, I was posting my Minecraft content onto AntVenom, and then he convinced me of that, and I eventually removed all of it. I put it all onto AntVenom. I put I think it was 5 videos up on March 12th, 2011. So that is when my YouTube story really started kicking off. So at the time on my AntVenom channel, I had maybe 7,000 subscribers or something. And at the same time that I started posting my videos on my channel, about a month back, I had started a series called on Machinima called Hunt for the Golden Apple, which I'm sure a lot of you probably know about, but for those of you that don't, It was a Let's Play series where I was trying to find a golden apple legitimately within a dungeon. And at the time, there was no such thing as strongholds. There was no such thing as mine shafts. And there was no such way to get regular apples. The only way you could get a golden apple was out of a dungeon chest. So that was like the mind-blowing achievement. You know, you had like the record discs and you had the golden apple. And the golden apple was a 1 in 200 chance of getting for any one item in a dungeon chest to be a golden apple. Now, unfortunately, sorry to burst your bubble for those of you that don't know about the series, but I never wound up finding a golden apple. And Hunt for the Golden Apple ran for 50 some odd episodes. It ran for well over a year. You know, all the way, I think it ran from like February of 2011 to March of 2012 or something like that. That's literally how long the series ran for. So between that time frame, I had also, you know, since I had been posting videos on Machinima with my Minecraft content, I had been encouraging people to, you know, come over to my channel and check out the Minecraft content that I had on my channel. And pretty much every time I did that within like the first 30 seconds of a video, I always had like subscriber spikes of anywhere between 500 and 1,000. And for a channel that had like 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers, that was like, like, you know, it was like a headshot, mind blown there. I hope you guys like that analogy. But anyways, so April of 2011 comes along, and I had been making Minecraft videos for a couple of months or so, and I had been running Hunt for the Golden Apple as well for a couple of months. I've pretty much been making videos for as long as I had started Hunt for the Golden Apple or so. And then one faithful day in April, I wound up actually staying home from school. At that time, I was going to a specialty school for computer training, and I wound up staying home from school that day because there was a really big snowstorm that was preventing me from getting to school in the first place, which was like 25 miles away or something like that. So I had made a video called The End of the World, which was me demonstrating the Farlands, because at the time Notch had very recently made a post talking about the limitations of Minecraft and, you know, how you can only make a world so big, or at least at the time the world limit was like 12 point something million blocks away from, you know, 0 on the X and Z axis. And I decided to use single player commands to mess around with that, you know, just to see like what does it look like and how does it behave as you go further and further out, you know, as you go like 2 billion blocks out, etc., etc. So I had made a video about that. I had posted it, you know, that morning, or it might have even been the day prior or something like that. And then I went ahead and I tweeted it to Notch, you know, just because like he had made the blog post. I made the video because of that blog post, you know, me being interested in it. And then he did something that I never expected him to do. And at the time he had about 160,000 followers on Twitter. And he went ahead and he directly retweeted the tweet that I had sent out to him. So again, his Twitter following at the time was actually a very active Twitter following. And the video itself wound up getting about like 40,000 views or something like that. And I wound up getting about like 400 or 500 subscribers in that day or something. But what I decided that I wanted to do from that point forward, like at that time, I had been making videos a little bit inconsistently. I'd been making, you know, maybe 1 or 2 a week or something like that. Maybe if I felt like it, I was making them, you know, more and more often. And it's not that I didn't want to make them more often than that. I just kind of never felt like it. So what I did is when he retweeted my video, you know, I was all excited. I was all giddy. I'm like, oh my God, Notch just retweeted my videos. This is super amazing. And it was at like 8 a.m. my time or something, because I was going to get up for school before I wound up not going. And so I decided from that point on, I kind of made a plan. I decided that I wanted to start doing daily videos from that point. It was sort of like, I'm not sure if I had that thought immediately, but I did know that I wanted to make a sequel to that video, because there was a lot of comments saying, you know, what happens with the corner Farlands? What happens when you go to like 12 point whatever million or 13 point whatever million by 13 point whatever million on both the X and Z axis? And I thought it was just going to be like this random mix mash of, you know, the Farlands as they were. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not sure how the coding works, but it actually looked like, you know, fairly like not regular, but like land that you can look at and be like, oh, okay, that's a layer, that's a layer, that's a layer, and there's gravel falling everywhere. So there was that, and I made, you know, videos about the Farlands, and then I made videos, you know, about updates. Specifically, I think the very first one that I did was when lightning first came around. So I think it was beta 1.5 when the weather system came in. I talked about that. At least I think that was one of the first ones that I did. But anyways, so there was that, and I started making videos, you know, on a day-to-day basis, really trying trying my best to make them daily. And, you know, other than a few random spurts of time here and there, I was making them daily. So that was really, really awesome. So that is kind of what jump-started me going from making videos sporadically to making them daily. So yeah. So I had been making, you know, Minecraft content for a couple of months. You know, we're moving along from like March of 2011 to like the August area of actually, let's go to the June area of 2011. June of 2011, I had actually been going to school for computer repair, to be a computer repair technician. That's originally what I wanted to do with my life prior to YouTube ever, you know, taking off. I was like trying to get my life in order to become a computer repair technician. And school actually ended in June, and I got a job to be a computer repair tech in July. And I quit that job after 5 days. Like, it was just me. You know, if you guys take a look at a MacBook or something, because we were repairing MacBooks, you know, for various schools, and all I was doing is I was replacing the bezels on them and like the keyboards, and that's all I was doing. And it's not that that was really an issue. It's the amount of them that I was expected to do per day. It's that I was expected to do like 20 of them a day, or no, 24 of them a day is what was expected. And it was just like, no, that was way too much. I was way too stressed out of that job. When I got home, I had no creativity to make videos. But at the time, something very special happened right around, again, June, July of 2011, because I quit the job right before July 4th weekend, because I got it, you know, the week prior to that. So I quit the job, and I quit because I realized that YouTube was at that sort of key moment where I was making just enough money to pay my bills and have a little bit extra, you know, just a little bit. And I was really gambling on whether or not YouTube was going to work. You know, I mean, for all I know, the views could have started tanking from that point. They could have just like, I could have quit my job and everything could have went downhill, and I could have been screwed, like beyond screwed. So originally I was going to give the job like a month and then see if YouTube would work out. But I wound up quitting. I started on Monday, quit on Friday, and I just kind of let YouTube be the career of choice. And YouTube did wind up, you know, slowly wound up progressing as the months went on. I was doing, I think, like 400,000 to 500,000 views a month or something like that, maybe a little bit more. Which is just enough. You know, 400,000 to 500,000 views a month in total is all I was doing. These days I'm doing like 200,000 to 300,000 views a video. So it's come a long way since then. So June to July comes around. I think at the time I was at about like 40,000 subscribers or something like that. Things that slowly started building up because of Machinima. And then in August of 2011, after my views had been dipping a little bit, a little mod called the Aether came out, and I caught wind of this like 3 to 4 hours after it came out. So, and I took a look at it, and it was like one of the most extensive game overhauling mods that I had ever seen. So I tried it, and I immediately proceeded to start doing a Let's Play of it. And that video was like the thing that really launched my channel, you know, for like really brought me from this point of I'm almost doing okay to okay, I can make, you know, a living off of what I do now. And, you know, from there, just like a lot was taken off of my mind at that point because, you know, things had started doing at least pretty well. So yeah, so the Aether mod had come out. I had started doing my Let's Play of that. That was like a video that came out like every other day. And things have just kept evolving from there. You know, I had still been making Hunt for the Golden Apple all the way up again to like March of 2011. I had been making videos, you know, of like maps or mod reviews or just anything at all. There was a lot of pixel map videos at the time because I was still adding a lot onto that map. So moving on, you know, November 2011 rolls around, which was Minecon 2011. At the time, I was like 90,000 subscribers. I went to Minecon. I had an absolute blast. That was really an experience of a lifetime. I can't really say enough about, you know, how awesome it was to go to a convention, let alone in Vegas. That was a really crazy place to go to a convention. I had really a lot of fun there. But so moving on from that, you know, we move on past Minecon, making videos. You know, again, the subscriber counts are still going up. I think between November, I think going all the way up to April of 2012, I was at about like, I want to say 200 to 250,000 subscribers. I'm not really too sure. If you guys want to see the numbers from 14,000 subscribers all the way up to today, go to socialblade.com and look up my username. And you can see my subscriber counts as they gained each and every day from May of 2011 all the way to today. If that's something you guys are curious about, you can guys go ahead and check that out. And then April of 2012 comes along, and a little thing called the survival games happened. And I had not practiced the map at all. Like, literally, I had not browsed the map at all. I knew what it was about. I knew what the premise was. No destroying blocks. You know, it's a survival games. I had never even seen the Hunger Games movie or read the book. So when the end of the survival games came around and they're like, what district do you hail from? I'm like, the district where winners come from. Yeah, well, without this, but I had no idea about District 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12. I probably, had I read all the books, I probably would have said District 13, because there's some really interesting stuff that happens in the later books involving that district. I'm sorry if I just spoiled part of the Hunger Games for you, but I actually didn't spoil that much. I'm just saying right now, even though I mentioned that, I didn't spoil a whole lot. So the survival games happened, and I wound up winning the survival games. It was really quite a ride. My heart was like beating double its rate the entire time. I wound up winning that. I made sure to edit the video in such a way that people were going to want to watch like the entire thing. So what I wound up doing, originally I was going to post the video in like 3 parts like most other people did. But I decided I wanted to post my winning video in 1 part, and I wanted to add annotations where people could skip to exciting moments in the video. And that's something that people really dug. Like, I got, you know, a lot of praise for the way that I edited the video, a lot of praise for winning, which, again, it was really a luck game. I was very happy that I wound up winning that. So the channel just had this giant boost off into nowhere I had ever been before. We were gaining like 4,000 subscribers a day for like a week or something. It was just, again, it was mind-blowing just how well everything was going. And then I think it was like a month later, I think in May, Survival Games 2 happened. And I don't know if I need to spoil it. I'm going to spoil it for you guys here. I wound up winning that one as well. And I won that one for one reason and one reason only. I won it because I went after everything that was in the center while nobody else did. And there was a fire enchanted sword in there, a fire enchanted stone sword, so it was okay. There was enough armor to have armor in every armor slot. The diamond was specifically very useful. And at that point, I was just like this unstoppable beast of a machine. There was just no getting past me. I don't think anybody really got close to killing me. Except for at the very end. My battle with Paul Soares Jr. and Luckland was very close because Paul Soares Jr. had gotten me down to fairways, and Luckland came out of the bushes like right after I killed him. I was like 3/4 health. So what my tactic was to hit him and then not be so close to him, try and get hits on him and let, you know, him get set on fire. So the survival instincts really kicked in during the survival games, and I wound up winning that one as well. And I edited the video in the exact same fashion, and it still did really well. I was really happy that I had won it a second time. So, and then the third one came along 2 months later. I won that one as well, which is just, again, it's just complete and total insanity. So, yeah, I mean, that kind of brings us up to speed. You know, I had been making videos in generally the same fashion, always trying to do something a little bit different. I'd been generally making videos in like the same fashion I haven't really changed the way that I make videos. The only thing that's changed is like my vocal cords have gotten deeper. You know, I don't have this quite like a high-pitched voice like before. Like in the old school days, I was like, hey guys, AntVenom here. Welcome back to another Minecraft video. Like, that's how I sounded way back then. But then, now that I basically talk for a living, my vocal cords finally decided to start, giving me a little bit of a deeper voice. So I'm really happy for that. Maybe it's like commentary over time has just made this natural, and my real natural voice is still like, hey guys, AntVenom here. Welcome back to another Minecraft video. Like, again, that's what my voice really was back then. It was funny. But yeah, so that brings us up to speed. That brings us up to today, which brings us to the point of this video. Obviously, I said it at the beginning, but I'm going to say it again. We have hit 1 million subscribers. I couldn't have, back in 2004, I couldn't have envisioned getting this lucky with the job that I have today. Even getting this lucky having this fan base. Even if I didn't make money off of my videos, I'd still be doing it. Again, I did that for 7 years, not making a dime. And I'd be in the computer repair industry had I not been making any money off of this. But I'd still be making videos pretty often because I enjoy the process of doing it. I do look forward to editing a video. Like, even though editing doesn't take me very long because I've done it so many times, I really do love doing it. So again, that just brings us up to today. I couldn't possibly in a million years be where I am without the support of you guys. I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, if I started talking and thanking you guys too long, I'd probably start like crying or something like that. So I'm going to try and make sure that the waterworks don't come in today. But there have been days, literally there have been days before where I have just been like happy the entire day just because I'm as fortunate as I am. And I have you guys to thank for that. I really, really do. And I mean, there are messages that I get from people that are like, you make my day better, AntVenom, because you make videos and you entertain me. I even get messages from people every now and then, like every 2-3 months or so, where people are like, Ant, you saved my life. And I can't even imagine like the concept of being a person who just makes videos on a daily basis, being someone who can go that far and affect someone that much. Like I'll get messages like people were in a hospital bed or something, and something that made them happy was having like a laptop or a phone and watching my videos. Like I really pride myself on how I've run this channel. I'm glad nobody else has really helped me. Well, there have been people who have helped me along the way, but nobody controls how my channel works. I control the way it works, and I really pride myself on how I'm not like this person who is overzealous with the amount they swear or something. I really try not to. I only do it if like it's a natural reaction to something, but I don't try and swear on my own, and I'm sure that's something that you guys like. It's not something that I can really control if it does happen, and I don't, try and censor it, but I do make a valiant effort to not swear in my videos. So yeah, again, I can't thank you guys enough. Oh yeah, and as I was saying before, I actually got a message from someone saying that they were like super depressed, and they were even like, contemplating suicide. And as a kid, it's not really known as to whether or not your suicide attempts or thoughts are real or not, but the point is, he said that it's something he ultimately decided he didn't want to do because he got enjoyment out of my videos and it made his day a little bit brighter. And that brought a tear to my eye. I'm not even gonna lie. So there's just like, again, everything is just way too overwhelming at this point. And I'm really happy. I feel very, very fortunate, very lucky to be in the position that I am in today. And here's to another million. Here's to some interesting and original projects that are going to be done on the channel over the next couple of months. As you guys probably may or may not know, I've been planning a music video over the past couple of months, and we're doing, that thing is underway. We're nearing halfway done as of me putting out this video. And if the video is out, maybe I'll have the link in the description, or you can search for it on my channel or something. So yeah. Yeah, a million. I think it's like really hitting me how many people that is. The largest sports stadiums, and this is something that me and my friends talk about, like back when I was getting up to like the 80,000-90,000 points, we were joking like the biggest sports stadiums hold like 100,000 people, and you have more subscribers than that. And that's always been weird to hear because again, I just make videos, I'm just a guy who does stuff, and I get rewarded for it with, this awesomeness. The awesomeness that is the ant farm. You guys are the ant farm. So yeah, again, I can't thank you guys enough for the awesome, past 2 years that I've had, ever since the beginning of 2011. So it's pretty much 2 years at this point that it's been, building up the YouTube channel to this point. I've had a phenomenal time, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world. No moment that has happened I would trade in for the world. It's been absolutely phenomenal. But anyways, again, before I get too sentimental, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to end off this video here, guys. Hope you all have enjoyed. I hope I haven't seemed too socially awkward in the video or something. Maybe if the video hits like 250, or if the video hits like 500,000 views, maybe I'll wear that hat right there for a vlog or something. I bet you guys have seen that. And, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll wear it in a vlog one day. I don't want to wear it while my hair is shorter. I want like, hair that's almost mullet style. Not like down here, but like down to here. Basically where my last vlog was. Like slightly longer hair. Then I wear that and then it's like pure awesome. I think that would be amazing. But, anyways, now this video is like branching so far off topic. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to end off this video here, guys. Thanks so much for a million. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.